We all have different ways of communicating with each other, whether it be physical, mental, through emotions, or through gestures. I worked in a situation where I had to use all of these. I had to be able to explain myself through more than just one way of communication. And I worked at West Liberty School Districts, which was a bilingual school district, and my bosses all were of different cultures, and it was tough to communicate with them because one was Hispanic, one was Asian, and my other one was Caucasian like me and was able to communicate with me and help me communicate with the others. So my boss was a very nice guy. I've known him for almost my whole life, so I mean that helped me get this job. And he tried to explain to me the first day that it would be tough, and I took on the bull, and it was tough at first, but after about the first 2 weeks, I started to understand it, and I really enjoyed it. It was a good experience, and I learned a lot. The one experience I can remember, one day I was working with this Asian woman. She was of Korean descent, and she did not speak English very well, or very clearly. And I was frustrated with her and with myself because we couldn't communicate well, and I think it really affected our relationship. We we were talking about cleaning, and she kept telling me that I needed to use a certain chemical. I knew this was not the right chemical, but she thought it was. So we kind of duked it out verbally because we couldn't communicate with each other very well because her English was extremely choppy, and I was impatient, and it was my fault. So we figured that situation out, and then we came upon my main point. We were putting up scaffolding in a gym one day to clean the ceilings of dust, and we had to use a leaf blower, and I did not grasp what she was saying and what she meant. So as soon as I climbed up there to dust off the ceiling, I felt offended by the way she was speaking to me. Little did I know it was because she could not communicate with me very well. And that was my biggest situation. And after that, we both learned that we'll have to adjust to each other to make ends meet. And we were talking after I came down from the scaffolding, and she had apologized to me and said, I am sorry that communication for me is very tough. And I said, we can all learn from it. And I dealt with it the way I thought I should. And communicating with each other was starting out really rough and tough. And we didn't get along at first because of this. And then once we started mending those patches of how we can communicate with each other through our emotions, how we speak to each other, with the tone of our voice, physical, like with our hands, pointing, grabbing, shoving, whatever it was, we duked it out through that, and we came out on top. Through this experience, I learned that just because we may have troubles communicating with other people does not mean that we cannot make it work or make a situation work. To become good people at good communication and get our abilities up to standard, we must practice and go through experiences like this. Tough experiences are what make or break how we learn how to communicate with each other, and that is what I learned from this experience in my life, and it made a huge difference, hopefully in hers as well, to learn how to deal with people that she's not normally used to dealing with. So, thank you.